We're here today to announce an alternative to the school construction that has been presented by the Board of Education. What we believe is important to do is to have a plan that will fix it first now. Fix it first now addresses all of the schools in our school system currently. We stand here today at Jefferson School because this is the school that has the most overcrowding in the city of Norwalk. And the fact is that with the current Board of Education plan, this school will not be addressed until about 7 years from now. So we believe, all of us standing here believe that we need to be fixing our schools first, fixing our schools now. And that means not only Jefferson School, but all of our schools in the entire school district. Then we should be thinking about whether or not we're going to be building brand new schools. The Board of Education is asking for us to spend $250 million from the taxpayers of the city and the taxpayers of the state. We feel we can spend $100 million plus the state reimbursement on top of that to not only fix schools like Jefferson, but Cranberry and Fox Run, Columbus, and other schools, Norwalk High School, all around the city of Norwalk.
This also allows us to take a look at something else that many of us were talking about in terms of the Board of Ed and its process, and that was taking a look at the entire district, because part of the strategic operating plan does include open school choice. So this will allow us to address immediate needs that benefit the most kids with the fewest amount of dollars and revisit that plan district-wide to see how do we really implement school choice also in the most effective way, and it'll really help us with school achievement.
We want to give students the best infrastructure they possibly can, but we also have an obligation to the taxpayers to make sure that we spend their money wisely. And this plan here allows us to fix some very, very critical issues in a lot of the different schools. It became apparent to me when I started getting emails from many parents that the information that was put out there wasn't accurately being portrayed, and people were thinking that the current plan would be fixing Cranberry School, Wolf Pit School, Jefferson School this year. And that's not the case whatsoever. Some of these schools would not be getting fixed for many, many, many years, as you've already heard. So let's fix some of the problems that we have in our schools now, so that then later on we can readjust, determine what the needs are of the school system. I have no idea why back in 2012, when they voted on the capital plans, that nothing ever got done. But now it's time to say, let's get the schools fixed. Let's make sure we do it right. Let's give the students who are currently in the various schools a good facility, a good infrastructure, and also protecting the taxpayer dollars. We have lots of people who can't afford a significant tax increase this year, but if we do it right, we can protect them and still give the children the schools they deserve.
When you talk about all the fixes that need to be made now, when you make the fixes that we're talking about, boilers that have to be replaced, air conditioning systems that have to be replaced, in addition to you have a school like this that a couple of years ago lost their computer lab because they basically ran out of classroom space. So now instead of having a computer lab, they had computers are wheeled to their classrooms. It's like, this school is maxed out. This school is at 171% of capacity.
And as board members, we should be diligent with our fiscal responsibility as well as our responsibility to our children, and that we should make sure that all children are being taken care of at the same time. So that's why I strongly support this, where it's going to touch all of our children and families, kids that are in need now, as well as addressing issues of the future.